Kindie Rockstars. Prepare for a treat, let's meet and greet some bands and singers that are super sweet, making music that's fun for boys and girls. Help them learn about this great big world. Fun for the family, yes it's true, your kids will love it and you will too. Clap and dance and sing aloud, become a part of the Kindie crowd. These songs will make you move your feet and give your ears a great big treat. So settle in, grab your guitars, and let's get to know our Kindie rock stars. Hello everyone, and welcome to Kindie Rockstars. This is the show that gives you the stories behind the songs from some of the best bands and singers that are making fun, informative, educational, catchy, and occasionally silly songs for children and families. I'm your host, Patrick Adams, and each episode of Kindie Rockstars will feature an artist and a featured song. So let's get to this week's show. Welcome to the newest episode of Kindie Rockstars. Joining me today are Zack and Mia from Fun Run. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right, well, tell everybody out there how you guys got into making Kindie music.
Oh, it's kind of a fun story, I guess. I'll take off with the story, and then Mia can jump in if I forget any of the fun details. So I've been a musician since 8th grade. So we won't count the years, but that's been quite some time. And Mia's, she's been trying to be, picking up some stuff here and there. But she said to me one day, we have a daughter who at the time was about 4 or 5, and she said, "Hey, let's go sing some holiday songs at her daycare." And I said, "You mean like a concert?" She's like, "Sure, you can call it a concert." And I said, "Can I bring my guitar and my amp and microphones?" And she's like, "Sure, if that makes you feel like that's a real concert." So I had at the time, a guitar amp that had a plug-in for one microphone, which we sang some holiday songs. And I played some songs that we found on the internet that were holiday-ish and shared that one microphone. And it went over really well. And
unlike Zack, who had been a musician forever, I had not played a single instrument ever, and it was one of those things on my bucket list, along with singing and performing. And when I would hear the kids at daycare say they just loved song, I thought, what a great place to start. And the daycare was really into that idea to have something to do, especially I think it was a Christmas Eve one year, and they always need to keep the kids really busy. So they were happy to have us in.
And then so I had a ukulele, and I used to write songs for our daughter, just silly stuff when she was in the bath or she was getting dressed, just fun stuff. And then we kind of just kept playing, and then some songs would come and go, and then we started having a few songs that she just really loved. I said, we should probably see what we can do with those. And Mia's more the singer than me, so she really was able to take off with some of those songs. And then I said, remember how we played those holiday songs at the daycare? Let's go in the summer and try these songs out and see how it sounds. But I said, we're going to need some better microphones and some better speakers. And that's been my excuse to buy all kinds of equipment over the last 5 years.
And it's really kept me going. So Zack has taught me to play the ukulele, and one day said, some of these songs really need something more, and handed me a bass guitar and said, play. And so that's how I started to learn to play that one. And it's been really fun. Yeah. And it's fun to go in and see when we are in, to see the kids and their interest in the instruments. And hopefully you'll talk about that in a while, because he really has an amazing repertoire of stringed instruments that he plays. And just being able to share that with the kids too was what really kept us going and kept us saying, hey, maybe let's turn this into something more than it is just for our daughter and her daycare.
Because as Mia said, I have the kids like to see, I have several guitars I'll bring with me. I have a bouzouki, which is kind of like a big mandolin. I have 6-string, 12 strings. I have an 8-string ukulele, which is fun for kids who are learning to play the ukulele, because that's something they start early on in school. They're like, well, what's that ukulele? And we have various size ukuleles. Mia has a bass ukulele that plays all like a bass guitar. So the kids are really interested in seeing all the different instruments. And so we went from the daycare. Then I reached out to some local libraries to see, like, maybe someone will take us. We were going to do it for free too. And the wonderful librarian, her name's Deb Cleveland. She got our start, and she said, "Hey, I'll pay you guys to come in." I said, "You will?" And I'm like, and I want to be all professional. Yeah. That's what we, yeah, of course. We're professional Kindie rockers. We don't do anything for free. And then from there, it just kind of took off. And we've recorded our first album that came out last spring. We've worked our way through the pandemic, doing virtual shows.
Yeah, it was great. Someone from Bangor, I believe it was, a news station reached out to us and said, "Hey, let's talk about what this was like working through the pandemic." So we were able to do that and talk about how everything we live streamed. So we were relatively new to this anyway. So it wasn't that much of a change. It was just, oh, okay, we'll put on the technology, which we were having to use for work anyway as teachers, and we'll just sing to everyone and invite the kids along. And that was what really kept us going.
So you are my first guests from the beautiful state of Maine. So what is the Kindie music community like up there?
Well, my older children, so we have our daughter 9, my boys used to listen to an artist called Rick Charette that I'd heard of even before they were born. And so he's someone that I've been interested in for a long time. And then Zack has really networked with some of the artists up here in Maine. You could probably talk about.
Yeah, there's a group out of the Bangor area called B Parks and the Hornets. So we've kind of networked with them. But there's not a big Kindie rock scene yet in Maine. We're hoping to keep it going. When I reach out to venues, libraries, towns, they're like, "Kindie, what's Kindie?" So I'm like, kid-friendly rock and roll. That's the easiest way to describe it. And they're like, "Oh, okay, that sounds like fun." So,
yeah, and we had one library reach out to us to do their New Year's Eve party. So instead of keeping the kids up, it's more like for a nap. Let's take let's have a big party so that they're all ready to sleep on that New Year's Eve day. And that was a great fun because again, it had to come through streaming, but there was dancing and singing and lots of kids at that event.
Even a baby Yoda.
Well, I think last time I was in Maine was probably the early 90s, but one of the stops that I made while I was there, I think we were in Bangor, was the person that was driving me around stopped at this house and said, "Hey, look at this house. It's really cool." And I couldn't help but notice that there was the fence, and then the fence post had like a couple of bats on it, and the house was red, and it had a bunch of, that's Stephen King's house. Like, oh my God, that's so cool. People can just drive right by his house and it looks like Stephen King's house.
Yeah, well, I've seen it before, and you stop there like, "Oh yeah, of course this is Stephen King's house." But if you're just driving down the street, you wouldn't even think of it.
That's something missing in our repertoire. That reminds me, because we really want to work on, we have some holiday songs. We have a Santa's Boot Christmas song. We have one that we're working on that will release next year. We didn't have it quite ready for Hanukkah.
A Hanukkah song, yeah. But we don't have a Halloween song, and
we want to work on that, and maybe we'll take some inspiration from Stephen King. We'll see.
We'll stand outside his house and see what strikes us.
There's probably, if you look close enough, there's probably plenty of inspiration. All right, you guys ready to get into a song?
Yeah, let's do this.
Our song today is called "If You Don't Mind." So tell us a little bit about this song.
If You Don't Mind is one of the first songs that we wrote for our daughter, and it's kind of evolved. It's one of the songs that started out really different, and it's the song that's on the album that we have now. It's on Go Have Some Fun. We're really happy with where it came. So I've got a guitar here. So it kind of started out like, like just bouncing along, and it never set right with Mia. She said it just doesn't fit. So one day I was just kind of noodling around while waiting.
No, I said, "Slow it down for me."
Just kind of noodling around waiting for Mia to pick up something. I don't know, she was doing something around, and it just kind of came into this plucky kind of, still bouncy, but much slower. And Mia's like, "That's it." Kind of in that Charlie Brown moment where she's like Lucy yelling at Schroeder, "That's it." And it fell over backwards. And then from there, we just ran with it. And we didn't even have a chorus. And then once it all all just came together like that. It was just musical
Yeah.
brilliance in my mind, just to see it kind of fall into place because it was just stuck, and we've had it for so long. And
it's a song about all kinds of friendship, love and friendship, and I've even described it to the kids at shows about sometimes you're over at someone's house and it's not your normal setting. It's not the adults that you're used to, but you're really good friends, and you have to know how to communicate and how to ask for things. And that can be difficult, but that's how we get along. And that's how we say, if you don't mind, I'd really like to make a wish or catch a fish or fly a kite, all the things in the song that are about what we'd like to do. And when we can work it out, we just know we're best friends and that everything will always be all right.
Awesome. And I totally loved the Peanuts reference. I grew up on Charlie Brown and Snoopy and all those movies and books. All right. So is there a music video for If You Don't Mind?
yes, we just released this video about a month ago, and it's full of colors and happy images, people walking through fields and kites flying and flowers blooming. It just kind of conveys that kindness and that message of just everyone just being happy. So yeah, check it out on YouTube.
All right. Well, let's check this one out. If You Don't Mind by Fun Run.
If you don't mind, I'd like a brand new shirt. If you don't mind, I'd like a kiss when I get hurt. And if you don't mind, I'd like to take a walk. If you don't mind, I'd like to sit and talk. And in the end, if you're still my best friend, I will know it's true. I was meant to be with you. If you don't mind, I'd like to climb a tree. If you don't mind, I'd like you to climb with me. And if you don't mind, I'd like to fly a kite. If you don't mind, I'd like a kiss goodnight. And in the end, if you're still my best friend, I will know it's true. I was meant to be with you. If you don't mind, I'd like to see a show. If you don't mind, I'd like for you and me to go. And if you don't mind, I'd like to catch a fish. If you don't mind, I'd like to make a wish. And in the end, if you're still my best friend, I will know it's true. I was meant to be with you. If you don't mind, I'd like to take that walk. If you don't mind, I'd like to sit and talk. And if you don't mind, I'd like to fly a kite. If you don't mind, I'd like that kiss goodnight.
All right. So Zach, Mia, let everybody know where they can stream and download your music and how they can connect with you guys on social media.
So the best way to find us is our Facebook page, and that can be found at Fun Run Band. There are lots of fun runs out there on Facebook, but we are the only fun run band. Also,
Yeah, right. Because fun run is often known as that run you go on before a 5K. And my sons were both runners of 5Ks. And so we were at a fun run one day. And that's actually where we got the inspiration for our band name, that it's just that really everyone gets to be involved in the fun run. The kids, adults, if they want, can be there on the sidelines cheering on. And it really, everything should be that much fun in life.
right. And as the kids are coming across the finish line, everyone's getting a medal that you guys made it. You ran the 3/4 of a mile or whatever it was that day. But also to find us, you can also do the @ sign @Fun Run Band. If you type that into Google, stuff shows up. Our Spotify is there. We're on Amazon Music, Apple Music. If you want to buy our CD, it's available at Bandcamp. And that's a streaming service as well. And again, just Google, or I guess search Fun Run, and it should come up. But just type Fun Run Band into Google and you'll find us. Instagram, we're on Instagram. But the Facebook page has all the links, including our YouTube channel where you can see our video for If You Don't Mind, and Lucy Lucy If You Love Dogs. That's a song all about dogs. There's a video for that as well.
Excellent. Well, I love the band name. And when I was a kid, I participated in something called a Fun Run. So as soon as I saw the band name, like, yeah, okay. I still have like a couple of certificates that I completed the Fun Run.
Yay.
Yay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for both being on the show. And I wish you the best of luck, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.